Hey, good evening, Chad. Good evening, Chris. Mission accomplished, guys. Nothing surprised me from Ann anymore. Just like Dame says, it's expected now, but his maturity is beyond mature. I mean, he didn't tonight. He looked so relaxed. He didn't look like Dame said. No pressure. Just go out and be me and do it. Be unfazed. And he looked so smooth and was fantastic. And the rebounding before the game, you guys talked about it. The Blazers must do a better job rebounding. Mission accomplished big time.
Oh, dude, how about that 45-28 edge? They were animals on the glass tonight, and by doing that, they were able to play at their tempo, at their pace, and in the process give themselves some chances at those second chance points, which are critical.
And it's not like Minnesota, some of the transition baskets and the drives to the hoop, were a problem. But, you got to give credit to those guys. Those two, Russell and Goose are just incredible shooters. I mean, somehow Russell missed 6 shots. I was like, where? I don't remember him. That guy made everything. I mean, nothing but net. And Goose is a special young man, even though his facial expressions are annoying.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But, dude, to focus in on the rebounding for just a moment, you remember against Denver, they got destroyed in the paint with the Nuggets had a 64-46 edge in the paint on Thursday night. That was a problem. They also pulled down 16 offensive rebounds, and they had a 22-9 edge in second chance points. Tonight, the Blazers had 11 offensive rebounds, a 45-28 edge in rebounding, and check out this advantage here, 22-4 edge in second chance points, and that's how they were able to win the game, and that's the hustle points, man. That's by guys flying around and multiple players being involved. That's Drew Eubanks. That's Nurk. That's those guys busting their tail down there to get the rebounds, man. That's team effort. I love that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Josh Hart was amazing. I mean, he's always flying out of nowhere, getting those boards. And, my daughter, she was talking about that you win the second chance points and you're going to win the majority of your ball games.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They needed that, and now they can regroup and reset and get ready for the rematch on Monday. Yes,
just business. You just got to get business done, but this team shows a lot of maturity, and they don't get too down when they lose. They don't get too high, like our stuff doesn't stink when they win, and I'm just really excited. Rip City, baby! You guys have a nice evening.
You too, buddy. Appreciate that. Kenny in Vancouver with the phone call 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Brandon, who also is in the coup. Brandon, welcome to the fifth quarter. What's up?
How's it going, Chad?
Good, man. That was a nice game tonight. Good bounce-back performance with multiple guys making contributions. My type of basketball.
I loved it. I was actually trying to get on before Ken. I wanted to be the first caller, but...
Well, we'll make sure that happens on Monday. We'll make sure that happens on Monday, man. Kenny's got the speed dial down, man. He's on fire. He somehow navigates the waters better than anybody.
Yep, and I was listening on the iHeartRadio, so a little behind on the time, so I missed out. But
that's all right.
I just wanted to give you a big old show me your Blazer.
Show me your Blazer. I love it, man. You're pumping me up, Brandon.
Get it. I mean, we're going places, baby. Like that was a good win. I'm not saying we're going places, but we got it. Like this is going places. We have a good team. We have a good coach. I mean, everything's going good.
Yeah, they're moving in the right direction, and I think the key for them, Brandon, is they've got to continue to work on all the details that the coaching staff is dropping on them, right? Like, for instance, the second quarter tonight, that's not good defense. They got to be better than that, and they'll continue to work on that. But they responded in the second half. They're doing a good job of getting multiple players involved and moving the basketball, which is nice. And that's the type of basketball you want. The Blazers tonight shot the ball well, made 13 threes. They were 51% from the floor, and multiple guys able to make contributions. But tonight it was the backcourt that powered them. 67 combined points between Dame and Ant. All right, my man Chris Burkhardt is here. What's up, brother? It was nice to hang out with you in the Coors Light Silver Seats tonight over at Moda.
It was wonderful. It's always nice when we get out and get to a game.
Yes, and I love it, too, because we had a little, I don't know what you call it, like a little bingo card. What's the first thing that the Godfather is going to complain about when he gets to the Coors Light Silver Seats? And we didn't guess right, but we were close. Oh, you would think that they'd have easier access to get to this level from where we're at, you know? And so we were laughing about that. But it was a good time, man. And you and I both took notice of Drew Eubanks tonight, dunking the basketball and being a beast down low. He doesn't mess around in the paint.
He just goes up with such ferocity, man. I love the fact that he doesn't waste a movement, doesn't waste an energy. Like, if you could just get Nurk to go up like he does, we'd be in a good spot.
Yeah, that was a nice bounce back. And how about Ant? You know, you and I have talked about this at length throughout the year where he's still trying to find his way with Dame on the floor tonight. No problem. Great bounce back from that rough night he had against Denver. He was sensational. 5 of 10 from 3 and 31 points. Smooth.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your not auxiliary players, but auxiliary star, because he's a star on this team. You want them to be able to bounce back from those poor shooting nights and not let it affect them. And what's really good is he can have a bounce back without it affecting Damian Lillard's game, because Damian Lillard had a Dame-esque game, right? So there was no push and pull there. It was just going within the flow of things.
Yeah, Dame didn't have a great night from 3, but he was aggressive and in attack mode. And then, I mean, we've seen this too throughout the year where you had the 2 guards who were the primary scorers, but then Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Drew Eubanks, multiple guys, Yusuf Nurkic, Eubanks and Nurkic with the rebounding tonight, but, you know, Hart and Grant with that energy. I like those team games, Burkhardt. I like it when multiple guys are a part of the process to help this team win. It's my type of game.
Team games are the best games when, you know, you can't really pick it apart. You get excited with everything you saw. I thought tonight, top to bottom, they looked good. I like the energy. You mentioned Yusuf Nurkic, though. We talked about it earlier in the game, how, like, I want him to have a game that's better than Rudy Gobert, because Rudy Gobert outperforms him most nights. And you can look at the box score and say he only had 8 points, but the 15 rebounds were huge. The way he moved the ball, even though not all of them were assists, I thought he did a really good job making sure the ball didn't stagnate offensively. So box score-wise, outside of those 15 rebounds, you might look at that and go, Yusuf Nurkic didn't have a very big game. I actually thought he had a pretty impactful game.
He was very impactful. And you're right, sometimes the box score doesn't indicate impactful, but he was. And now he's stringing together some games now. That's 4 straight games where Nurk has been very productive and impactful, and that means that we might be getting ready for the Nurk train over the next couple of weeks, because when he puts it together like this, he normally will go on a nice little streak of 2 or 3 weeks of prime basketball. And we need that.
That would be nice. Now's the time to do it. It's a good stretch of games.
All right, let's go out to the phones, 503-248-0620. Chris Burkhardt, Chad doing with you. 5th quarter. Blazers over the Timberwolves, 124-118. Got to Josh Baker. Josh, what's up, brother?
What's up?
Hey, I remember what you told me after that game on Thursday, that you weren't going to lose faith, and look what happened tonight. The Blazers come out and bounce back and get the victory.
Hell yeah. I mean, what Brandon said, too. Show me your Blazer!
Show me your Blazer! Nice work. I love it. Who did you roll to the game
Much
with
better
tonight?
Game.
Who'd you go to the game with tonight?
I went Stag tonight.
Solo?
I put it out there. I put it on the Facebook. I said, hey, anyone want to go? No biters. So it was me, myself, and I.
I can't believe that you got shunned on a Trailblazer game. That's surprising to me, Baker.
Goodness, yes. So I'm happy. It's a great day to be a Blazer. I'm going to actually be in Denver on the 23rd for the Blazer game, 2 days before Christmas. That's going to be amazing.
Now, how are you going to pull that
One of
off?
my TikToks.
How'd you get that? How did you slide that one through the wife to where she's cool with that?
She's just cool with it. I'm off work right now. So when's it going to happen again? One of my TikTok followers, him and his wife are season ticket holders in Denver. And he said, hey, I know you're accustomed to that club lifestyle. And so I'm going to get you out here. We're going to do club. You just got to get here, and I have your ticket.
Dude, that's money, man. I used to live there. I've got family in Denver. I've been back a couple times this year. I love the Rocky Mountains, man. It's beautiful there. Beautiful this time of year, Josh.
Yeah, but 2 days before Christmas. And I was surprised. Flights, I think I got round trip for $600. That's nothing. So I'm going to be in Denver for the Blazer game 2 days before Christmas, and then back in Portland the day after Christmas. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Show me your Blazer. That's Josh Baker right there. Get it done. We've got a lot ahead on the fifth quarter. We're going to hear from Dame Grant and Coach Billups. And we'll take your calls at 503-248-0620. Blazers get the win tonight, 124-118 at Motor Center over the Minnesota Timberwolves. It is the fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio.
Hey there, Rip City. We got a few minutes left here in the break, so I figured I'd chime in. So why not, get my time to shine. Just a big shout out to all our YouTubers out there. We got Scott Jones chiming in just now. Big fan of the show. Ken Bauer, always first to call. Ruffling feathers already there, Ken. Han in King City, as always. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. A couple other people in there. I'm going to mispronounce some of these, so I apologize. Minkju, there's another one who commented on our videos the other day about how cool it was. Didn't know we were on YouTube. Here they are in the chat. But anyway, you guys are awesome. Blazers, big win. Get a night off, get right back to it Monday. I just figured I'd chime in, say I love you, and go back to the break. We'll see you in just a minute.
All right, Blazers get the win tonight, 124-118. Fifth quarter, I am Chad doing. Chris Burkhardt is here. We were over at Moda Center tonight hanging out in the Coors Light Silver Seats, and it is pretty sweet. Here's what you got to do. Go to CoorsLight.com/GoBlazers, and you can enter the sweepstakes. And if you get chosen, you'll be able to head to a game and sit in the silver seats. A lot of room, cushy seats. They've got the cold rail technology to keep your beer cold, and they've got phone chargers right there. So you have your own little area to enjoy the game. Go to CoorsLight.com/GoBlazers to have your chance to win. And then the Blazers will hand deliver swag, Blazer gear, Coors Light swag. It's a sweet experience, so check it out. Or you can go to one of your local retailers and see how to use the QR code to enter. But it is pretty sweet. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. We're going to hear from Dame. We'll hear from Grant and Coach Bills. We're going to take your phone calls. The Blazers get the win tonight. Dame with 36, Ant with 31 on 5 of 10 shooting from 3. Let's go out to Dan in Southeast. Dan, my man, what's going on?
Man, terrific win tonight. Really nice bounce back over that heartbreaker against the Nuggets. Just a couple of notes. This is the second game where Josh Hart's fingerprints have been all over that game. Like, you look at the box score, I'm trying to think back to the last player that suited up for Portland that had as much impact outside of the standard box score. Like 8 rebounds. Okay, how many box outs that contributed to somebody else getting the board? 4 assists. How many hockey assists did Josh Hart have tonight? Didn't have any blocks, right? How many contested shots did he have that led to misses? It was outstanding to see, and it was also really nice to see him get loose for a couple of threes, because I think that really helps. Teams, they tend to expect him to just go steamrolling into the lane the way he does so well, but if he can make him pay from outside, that just makes the offense that much more potent when he's on the floor. And I guess the only other thing is, I've been talking about this for a while. I'm probably just going to have to dig in, and I want to find the stats on turnovers by quarter, because I don't know how many games we're going to have where the Blazers just seem to be forcing a lot of errors in the fourth, but I just have the feeling that it's at least average and maybe really good, like ranked league-wide or whatever, because those are going to show up as unforced turnovers. That run of turnovers that the Timberwolves had in the fourth, where they were really having trouble getting the ball into the paint, and they're going to go down in the box score as unforced turnovers. And I'm like, no, those are passes where they're concerned. They're trying to put a pass somewhere where it can't go. And I really think that you got to credit Billups for part of that, because when you do as much switching as he does, I think over time, if the defense isn't really locked in, or if an offense isn't really locked in, they're going to have trouble down the stretch knowing exactly what to expect. And I think it shows up in little things like that pass led to Minnesota turnover. Terrific effort all the way around. Awesome to see Eubanks go off like that. I thought Shaedon Sharp had a good game, stayed in his game, didn't take unnecessary shots, and can't wait for the next one. Rip City, baby.
Yeah, you got it, Dan. Appreciate that phone call. 503-248-0620. My man Rob reached out to me, and he said, I want to call, but beverages stand in the way. Hey, we've all been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. He said if we played this game versus a good team, it would be a huge loss. Offensively, it looked okay, though I like when we spread it more evenly. Eubanks was in charge. The backcourt did a proper job, but there was no defense by either team. Lucky win, in my opinion. I've been optimistic throughout, but I lost a little bit of my love tonight. And I know what he's talking about, where you look at the Blazers right now, they've got to get better defensively, period. And that's why Chauncey was so bitter after the Denver loss, right? And that's why he was so heated going into halftime tonight, because of that second quarter when they gave up 39 points. If this team is going to get to the level that they want to get to, if they want to be taken seriously, it's going to have to continue to make strides defensively. And they're doing a better job this year, but only in spurts. And you'll hear Dame talk about that when he's asked after games about the defense. He'll say, well, we did a good job in spurts. But they've got to learn to become a more consistent defensive team over longer periods of time, longer stretches, so they don't have the quarter like we saw tonight where they give up 39, or the end of the game mistakes they made that cost them the game against Denver. And that's going to come down through continued practice, the coaches continuing to emphasize, and the players doing the study time, the work, and then communicating and understanding how they need to work as a unit to move as one when they're out there on the floor. But the defense is critical, and they've got to continue to make strides in that department. Because against good teams, when you make mistakes or if they know what your tendencies are, your weaknesses, they're going to expose you. Now, the good thing about Billups, too, and, Dan mentioned this, is, he's mixing things up a lot more this year. Using zone, mixing up, his coverages, giving teams different looks, and that's a good thing. But the guys have to continue to grind and work to get better on that end of the floor. You got to do it. All right, let's check in with some of the guys following the game tonight. You can still reach out, 503-248-0620. We're live with our YouTube stream right now. Go to youtube.com and pull up Rip City Radio, and the live link is right there on our homepage. You can also click to subscribe. Let's check in with Jeremy Grant, who finished the night for the Blazers tonight. I thought he played with very good energy tonight. Jeremy Grant got nearly 40 minutes, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 of 13 from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3.
Jeremy, congratulations on the win, man. This was a back-and-forth game, but when you were down 10 in the third, a 19-point turnaround gives you the 9-point lead in the fourth. What happened there to get momentum back on your side?
We was resilient. We had a similar game last game against Denver, and we learned from our mistakes in that game, and we made sure we did what we were supposed to down the stretch.
Yeah, the defensive pressure, especially on the perimeter, ramped up in the fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards didn't score in the fourth after 26 through 3. What changed defensively? Kind of forced things into the paint after all the threes they hit in the third.
Just had to get into the ball. Just had to make sure slow him down. Like you said, he had 26 in the first 3, so we just wanted to pressure him and make it uncomfortable for him.
For you guys, after losing 8 of 10, you now have won 3 out of the last 4, getting momentum back on your side as you're getting healthier. Have you guys kind of figured out the direction that you want to go now that this team is getting closer to the one you thought you'd have at the beginning of the year?
We're getting healthy. The healthier we get, the better we are. So, we're just coming together. We're figuring it out. The more games we get on our belt, the better we'll be.
There you go. Jeremy Grant following the Blazer game tonight, and the Blazers get the win 124 to 118. Well, what is it going to take, Chris, to get this team to be better defensively for longer stretches? Is that coaching? Is that just continuing to emphasize what you want? Because we're going to hear from Billups. He was pretty heated after that second quarter tonight, but they're doing some things better this year, but we need more consistency on the defensive end. Longer stretches, more sustained effort.
Chad, I think the answer to that is multifaceted. First off, I think Gary Payton will help it because what we said pregame, quarterback on the floor will be huge. Obviously a good defender. I think also, though, is just runs, right? Is getting those reps under your belt. I think the more that they play, gel together, and actually learn each other's defensive tendencies, you got to remember, with the way injuries are, these lineups have been just mashed together. You got to get those runs. You got to get what coach is saying, and then get to the point where that defense is second nature. Right now, I think what they're doing is guys like Josh Hart and Jeremy Grant are leading the way, Justice Winslow anchoring it, but they're just expending so much energy on that side of the floor that how often do they end up letting an easy bucket just because they're a step or two behind just because they're getting tired. Yeah. So it's just going to come with runs, and I do think, I hate to oversell, I do think GP2 will help that.
Assuming he's available at some point during the season.
Right. Yikes.
I wonder if he'll play on Monday. I have no idea. We haven't gotten any updates since that last report where he would be reevaluated in a couple of weeks.
But again, I'd be shocked if he played Monday because, pregame, Coach Billups was asked about it again. He said he's been playing 3-on-3. You don't really go from 3-on-3 to playing full game action.
They changed the message. Dwight thinks it might have been an agent that got involved there in the messaging by the Blazers.
Something happened.
Did it change? They said 5-on-5 after practice a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. And then tonight it's 3-on-3. Wait, what?
What? I blacked out.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why that's so funny, but the way you just said that is exactly how that went down. Wait, what? Huh? Who said that?
I just don't. It's just the whole thing's weird to me. I don't. I know I just wouldn't take GP2 as being sensitive like that, but, some of those guys probably go crazy when they see or hear in the press or on social media when they're being questioned or their toughness is being questioned. I don't know. I just know I want him on the floor because he could be a major help.
Yes.
We keep talking about defense. Gary Payton is a good solution to some defensive issues you got, right?
Yes, he's more than adequate.
Well, why don't we check in with Dame? Dame, 36 points tonight. He and Ant combined for 67. And while Dame didn't have it going from 3 like he did against Denver, he had a good floor game and was aggressive off the bounce and in attack mode. And I love the energy he's played with the last couple of games. Here's Dame after the game tonight.
And what's key to, if you can remember back in your career early on when you had an off night, and what goes into that process of responding?
I mean, early in my career, it was just, I always say it, but I always had vets or teammates that would just encourage me to just be true to you, keep doing what you do, and, it happens, keep going. And, that was Mo Williams and Earl Watson, like I always say, Jared Jeffries, and then, Evan Turner was always in my ear, like, so what? You Dame Lillard, keep going, So the tough nights didn't feel bad, It was just like, all right, keep going. And with Ant, I always said he's the type of person that's just like never too high, never too low. He's going to be his biggest critic. He holds himself to a standard, and I'm going to hold him to a standard. And he knows that. I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm going to get on his ass because I have high expectations for him, in his career and right now. So we didn't even need to have no big discussion about last game. The only thing I said to him was like, you just got to be aggressive. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about Jeremy. Don't worry about nobody else. You got to attack. You got to be aggressive, and you got to be you. And even last game, I was telling him, you're struggling, but you always, people like you, people like me, when you play the game the right way and you keep your mind in the right place, you always gonna have an opportunity to come up big. And we lost last game, but he ended up hitting a big shot, and that's the way it goes. So coming out tonight, I literally didn't even come into the game thinking like, how is he gonna respond? It was just another game, and that's how it was in his head too. Just watching him, it was like he was smiling. He was his normal self. So usually you can see a guy in their head like trying to be overly locked in because they got to do something, and it wasn't like that, And that's what the real players do, and he's a real player. So I wasn't shocked at all. I didn't think much of it.
All right, there's Dame. So and I think it was Coach Bills. We'll hear from him, but Ant's not the type of guy that rolls up on coach and says, "Hey, I need this, or give me this, or get me in this situation so I can, have a bounce back." But he did tonight, and I think Ant's at that point now where he's pretty confident in his game, and he came out and was aggressive early, got things going, and had a great bounce back after that rough shooting night against Denver. Let's go out to Kiernan, who joins us once again on Fifth Quarter. What's up, Kiernan?
Hey, Chad. Hey, how's it going?
Very well. Nice bounce back win tonight. What'd you think about the game?
Yes.
What jumped out at you?
Yes, I was. I was happy that they got the win tonight.
And how about Drew Eubanks tonight? 5 of 5
Drew
from the
Eubanks.
floor.
Yeah.
Dunking the basketball, Kiernan.
Dunking the basketball. Yeah.
So
yeah, that was quite. Yeah.
Who did you enjoy the most tonight? Which Blazer jumped out at you? There were multiple guys, but who did you think was
Drew
big?
Eubanks.
Yeah,
Drew Eubanks for sure. And Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. You like Jeremy Grant, don't you, Kiernan?
Yes, I do. And Jeremy Grant, he has a lot of athleticism for sure.
Yeah, he moves really good. He moves smooth
he
for
really
a long
does.
guy. Yeah, he's good.
And same with Shaden Sharp too.
No, Shaden Sharp's nice. He played a good game tonight, and I'm just happy to see him get a chance to play every night.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad Dame played tonight too.
Yeah. Team win tonight. Multiple guys making a contribution, Kiernan.
Yes, go Blazers. And it's a great day to be a Blazer.
It is a great day to be a Blazer, and hopefully they can.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Yeah, and hopefully they can get the win on Monday night.
Yeah, make it back-to-back over the Timberwolves. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. That'd be great.
Well, Kiernan, you're the best, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, buddy. We'll talk on Monday.
Yes, you too. All right, sounds good.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's Kiernan. I love Kiernan, Chris. That guy's always in a good mood, always projecting optimism. Like, we need people like Kieran in our life. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I drew attention to that in one of the days I was hosting for you, and he called, and I was like, I'm excited to take this next caller because they could lose by 100, and he's always happy. And I'm just going to be happy because he's happy. I love Kieran.
Because the older I get, like, I tend to I'm too much of an emotional roller coaster. Like, I get happy when they play well, but I get really bitter when they don't, you know?
It's fair.
I feel like when I saw Chauncey Billups the other night after the Denver game, I'm like, I know what he's feeling right now. I've been there. I can experience that. I know what it's like to watch your team be like, what's up with that? Like, you got to be better than that in the end. But no, it's good, man. That was a fun game, fun win.
Yeah, shout out to the YouTube chat real quick, Chad. I'll go back through to verify because I like to verify my stats. But Han in King City points out that Ant and Dame, first time that they both scored over 30, which honestly wouldn't be shocking because, again, how many times they played it together in the minutes.
Not many.
And he said, for reference, Dame and CJ did that 17 times. So I'll go back and check that, but I trust him.
Nice work, Han.
I trust him, and I love it. I love that our community is dropping stats, adding to the show, baby.
Peyton Gate,
right? That made me laugh.
That's great, man. That was 5-on-5. We went for over 40 minutes. And now it's 3-on-3. It's just comedy. It's comedy. Ugh. All right, we'll keep things rolling here on the show. We'll come back, and we'll continue to take your phone calls. We'll hear from Coach Billups. We still have our drive of the night and shot of the night. We'll get you a scoreboard update around the association. 503-248-0620. Blazers get the win tonight. That's the most important note. 124-118 over the Timberwolves. You got the fifth quarter.
Shout out Han in River City doing all the heavy lifting. Much appreciated. It's pretty awesome. Chad's giving me the weird look. What are you doing, Chris? I'm on the YouTube during the commercial breaks. It's my time, Chad. It's my time. No, shout out though, Han doing some great work there. The heavy lifting for the show. Make sure you're looking at those. Add it, man. You guys got anything to add to the conversation? Any stats that we may not have tipped off on, but get them in there, man. It's awesome to see the community that we're slowly starting to build here on YouTube get so involved and enjoy the show. So big shout out to you guys. We love it. I love that you're here. The community's growing. 24 solid watchers right now. I know some people think that's small potatoes. To me, gets me excited. It's awesome. Remember, like, share, subscribe, tell all your buddies, get on it. Plenty more content coming. And again, shout out to you guys. You're awesome. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
All right, fifth quarter, telephone number 503-248-0620. We appreciate those joining us on the YouTube stream. Go to youtube.com, pull up the Rip City Radio page, and click on the live link, and you can check us out inside studio. Telephone number 503-248-0620. Blazers get the win tonight, 124-118. Dame with a game-high 36 points and 31 points on 5 of 10 shooting from three-point range. A great bounce-back effort for him after that rough shooting night against Denver. And the Blazers now will regroup and reset and get ready for a matchup against the Timberwolves again on Monday. A little home-and-home situation against the Timberwolves. And it was good. They got what they needed. They got the victory. It wasn't perfect. They still have work to do as a group, especially on defense, but they cranked it up in the second half and got the job done after giving up 39 points to the Wolves there in the second quarter. We'll go back to the phones in just a moment, but let's get to our drive of the night.
It's time for the Portland Trailblazers Drive of the Night, here on the fifth quarter, hosted by Chad Dewing, 620 Rip City Radio. Drive of the Night is brought to you by Dick's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Wilsonville, ready to compete with the lowest prices in town.
Rebound, Noel stripped away by Hart. Now give it to Eubanks, who slams it down with the tomahawk. Drew Eubanks gives the Blazers the lead, 94-92.
Man, Eubanks was big time tonight. 5 of 5, 10 points, played with great energy, had a massive dunk on Rudy Gobert. That's got to feel pretty good. Blazers get the win 124-118. Let's go out to Toby, who's joining the fifth quarter. Toby, you're up on the fifth quarter. Fire away.
Hey, Chad, how we doing?
Very well. What's up? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I was at the game tonight, had a blast with my wife. We had a great time.
That's great, man. I love hanging out, especially on the weekend games, because you don't have to worry about getting up for work the next day. You can hang out, enjoy the scene, and you get the victory, too. So it's a big-time win for you and the wife.
Exactly. So wanted to call in and talk about the most underrated parts about this Blazer team.
Give it to me. What you got? What are you seeing?
Well, after tonight, we're talking about Eubanks, right?
Yes. Terrific tonight.
So Eubanks slayed it. I think Chauncey is also super underrated as a coach this year. And I think the most not talked about, underrated part about this Blazer team is Damian Lillard's leadership. What do you think, Chad?
Well, I think Dame's a great leader. He's been that way basically ever since he arrived in town. But what I like about Dame is his willingness to spend time working with the younger players on the team to give them what he didn't have when he was young with LaMarcus. But he mentioned the guys the other day. I think it was Earl Watson and Mo Williams, who did a good job of kind of showing him the ropes. And so I think what his what Dame's dad calls it is growing the game. So he feels like by passing along what he's learned to the younger players on the team that he can help grow the game. And I think that is, by nature, very good leadership.
Couldn't agree more. So if Anthony Simons, just listen to me real quick. If Anthony Simons was on the Sixers, right?
Yes.
Or some other team on the East or whatever, and his leadership was, I don't know, some other point guard, maybe
Kyrie Irving,
some guy from Houston, Kyrie Irving, maybe, who knows, right? What do you think his trajectory might be? Would it be the same under Dame, or would it be, different?
Well,
what do you think?
I think it would depend on the coach. The one thing that kind of stunted Anthony's growth was, the previous coaching staff under Stotts, he didn't really get a chance to play on a regular basis, and I think that was difficult on him. Like if Ant had started out and come in as a youngster playing under Chauncey, who's more willing to play young players, maybe Ant's development would have been a lot more rapid than what we've seen. But I think based on the situation he's been in here in Portland, going from the Stotts staff to Billups' staff, I think Dame's been a great bridge to be able to help him get through the difficult times. But I think a lot of that with a young player, I think a lot of it has to do with coaching. And if you have a coach that understands your position, if you have a coach that's willing to play you and allow you to work through some of your mistakes, I think that can be a big factor, too, for young players.
Totally agree. I think we're spoiled a little bit with Chauncey and Dame, and even our ownership to an extent with Anthony and even some of our other younger players.
Yeah,
like Shaden.
Yeah, Shaden's great. I'm excited to see Shaden's development over the course of time. I would say with ownership, not so sure about now with Jody and Burt Cold calling the shots, but I was a huge fan of Paul Allen because Paul Allen was always willing to spend whatever was necessary to make sure that his franchise was in the best position possible. And while he didn't always make the best decision, you knew that when he made decisions and he took action, it was because he wanted the team to win, and I respect that.
Oh, totally. Well, Chad, I appreciate the time and love what you're doing. Let's go Blazers.
Go Blazers, man. Toby, good phone call. Appreciate the interaction. 503-248-0620. All right, let's take a listen to Blazers coach Chauncey Billups following the game. Then we'll go back to the phones. I want to hear what Billups had to say about that second quarter tonight and what happened to get them back in a position in the second half to play better defense.
Last 3 or 4 minutes of the third quarter, our defense kind of turned a little bit, and we were much better. You know, I was really upset coming into halftime, giving up pretty much 40 points in the second quarter. It's tough to absorb that. I thought we came out with some pride in the second half, and our defense kind of changed at the end of that third quarter, and we kind of rode it on through.
How would you describe Ant's response
I thought Ant was big time. You know, I really did. I thought he was big time. I want to tell him just be aggressive early. I ran some really, really early plays for him to try to attack, and he did that, had it going, and we fed really off of Ant's energy in that first quarter.
Why did you feel it was important to run plays for him?
Well, when you're averaging 25 a night, 24 a night, and you have a really rough night, obviously when you average that much, you're really important to our team. So I just felt that it was kind of necessary. And is not the kind of guy to come to me and say, "Coach, give me something," or "Run this," or I got to have a feel for that and see it, and I did, and he responded very well on both ends of the floor, actually.
What do you think was behind the defensive change, the shift in the end of the third quarter?
I think it was our guys in the huddle challenging each other, pretty upset with each other that they were just scoring so easily. And by the way, they can do that to you. I mean, Chris Finch he's an offensive wizard. And the way that they're playing, and Russell is, really good, and Ant-Man is playing at a high level, so they can do you like that. They can make you look that way. But at the same time, our guys, they had a lot of pride, in the game, and I think that it was really them. It wasn't me. It was them challenging each other, and every time out in every huddle.
Let's talk before the game about Ant's defense. In the fourth there, when you guys were switching, you got switched on to Gobert a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he held his ground pretty
And he fought hard. He fought really hard. We were switching a lot. We kind of switched everything, which made Ant be down there fighting with Gobert. And Gobert is obviously he's a big dude, but he's very strong too. Ant did a really good job of fronting him and not letting him just throw it right in, and making him earn every single touch he got. And that's the pride, that you want everybody on the team to take.
Remember that kind of jumps out at the second chance points,
22-4? Yeah, and we talked about that. Remember I told you I talked about our physicality. And I thought there were so many moments in this game tonight where we were very physical on the glass. I thought our rebounding won us the game. And when they shot it, we only let them get one shot at it. We did a good job. Especially when you're switching, then you a lot of times gonna have those smalls on Gobert, and you need 2 or 3 guys to help block him out, and then the other guys go grab the rebound. So we did a good job of that, focusing on that.
Chauncey, with the way you guys started the season with a great record, it was probably always going to even out a little bit. But how have you seen your guys kind of respond to kind of this stretch where, not that it was coming easy early on, but where there has been a little more adversity and the wins haven't come as much? How have they responded to that?
Yeah, I think they've responded very well, and to me, I'm happy in those moments because that's when you really learn most about your team is when it's tough, you know, and when you lose some games. You know, we that was a heartbreaker the other day that we lost. So you always kind of look back and say, all right, well, how do we respond from that? The day after that, you know, when we got in that theater and we watched the entire fourth quarter together, and I let them kind of talk about it, you know, and I just love when guys can talk about it, and it's not me just talking to them. They holding each other accountable, saying, oh, dang, I missed that one, my bad, I got you next time. I thought that was a great response, but then you got to actually come and play a game, and, you know, I thought we did a good job of responding to that game the other day, but overall I think we've responded pretty well.
Early on in the fourth, when they started to make a little bit of run, you put Dame back in a little bit earlier than you normally would. Was that just you trying to prevent, you know, what happened with Denver?
I don't think it was. I think it was like 8 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock when I put him back in. That's usually around his time. But make no mistake about it, I will do that. I've done it a couple times this year. I think I put him back in with like 10 minutes one time. Not afraid to do that, you know, at all, especially games that, you know, we don't have a back-to-back tomorrow. And Dame is fresh. You know, he had enough rest.
All right, there's Chauncey. Do you think he was spicy with the guys at halftime, talking about defense?
I think he was spicy with the guys all night. I'm liking. There was a moment there, Chad. I don't know if you saw it. I think it was there in the fourth quarter, right around that first timeout. So about 8 minutes in, he is almost at half court yelling at someone. On offense, not defense, but on offense, yelling at someone to get them in position. Ant ends up going around a pick and gets a lay-in, and Minnesota takes a timeout, and Chauncey just comes right out onto the court. And it was Trendon Watford who he was yelling at. And Watford gave him, like, you know, the but, and Chauncey, like, I mean, he fingered to the chest, like, no, like, fire. Like, and not in a negative way. Like, you could tell that, Watford was hearing it and was understanding, like, but it was like, you need to be in a position. And you saw Chauncey doing it. Like, he was yelling at him, like, doing the whole, like, wave, like, get over, and he didn't get it. And that fire, man, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm the type of player who would definitely answer to that.
Well, and think about this. You and I have talked about this, but, you know, Chauncey last year was a brand-new coach, never done it before. Like any player, like, he's learning how to coach, and he's getting more confidence in terms of how to deliver the message to the guys, right? So we're seeing him more engaged now. Like, someone asked me the other day, do I think Chauncey's a great coach? And I'm like, I'm not sure yet, but he's got the makings of one.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Because I would say right now that, like, I would hope that Portland does what they can to not lose this guy because I really like the little flashes that I see. But to your point, like, he's learning the ropes here too. And so the makings of a good coach. Good coach or great coach yet? No, obviously not. But the makings of something there.
Yeah. And he's clearly got the guy's ear. But most importantly, like, he is not going to let them be less than what he believes they can be defensively. Like, he's just not going to let it slide. He's going to continue to get on them and coach defense, which is good. They need that.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, it's so good to see. Let's go back out to the phones. Let's go to Chris in Northeast. Chris, my man, what's going on?
Hey, Chad, how you been, man?
Very well, buddy. Good to hear from you. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. I had to get over a kind of chest cold thing last week, which really sucked. So I haven't been. I've listened a little, but I couldn't even talk if I wanted to. If I wanted to call in last week, but anyhow, Chad, I had this great idea for another parody song, and it has to do with your forthcoming public apology to Drew Eubanks, right?
Yes, yes, it's coming.
So, yeah, and I'm like, okay, and I had the song. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to surprise you, and we'll do Name That Tune in reverse. I know you'll get it. I know you'll know this song because of the band, but I got picked out, but I just couldn't crack the code of the syllables, you know, like changing the words and all, and it all came together the other night, and I was like, playing it on the guitar and stuff, so I got to, you know, put in the time and get it recorded and all, but I just want to let you know that's coming for you, brother.
Yes, I love it, man. I love it. You're pumping me up.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you, Banks. I told you last year, just a coincidence, but I was doing a 3-month teacher job in Reynolds, and my vice principal was saying how he worked at a school with Eubanks when Eubanks was in high school, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and was just saying, what a great kid he was and all, and it was kind of like, I was like a kind of feel-good thing for us out in the Reynolds School District, like, yeah, one of our own. So, yeah, I'm really proud of him, man. I had my hesitations, too, when they were bringing him back, but it's like he's like the epitome of effort, I think. He just, like, he's like that Energizer Bunny. He just doesn't turn off, man.
No, that's what I love about him. And now that he's aggressive, man, when he gets in there, he knows exactly what he needs to do, and that's attack the rim.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he does.
He's
Awesome.
Those first 3 quarters, I didn't see him, but I'm hearing about all these dunks of his. I saw one of them where he ran right into Gobert and flushed it. And how many dunks did he have?
He had like 4 or 5 tonight. I think he may have had. I think he had 4. Might have been 5. He may have had more dunks tonight than Nurk has all season, to be honest.
I think every shot he had was a dunk.
Yeah, he was great. He's an animal.
Yeah, he was awesome. All right, Chad. Well, I will get back to you probably within the week or so when I get this rough draft polished off.
Oh, I love it,
give
man.
a go.
He deserves
All right,
the
Rip City.
biggest and best apology that a man could possibly get. I was wrong about Drew Eubanks, and I'm glad to be wrong. The guy's awesome. It's one of the best bargains in the NBA. They're paying him a vet min, and he's out there balling his backside off. Right there, the facial. Oh, he's tough. He doesn't mess around, man.
He doesn't, but can we stop with that damn chainsaw?
You talking about this one right here?
One of the most annoying sounders in sports. Yeah, that's kind of annoying too.
So you think the duck horn's annoying too?
I mean, all right, here's my thing with the chainsaw, okay? I want you to tell me, isn't that kind of a bad thing? It's like that's the sound of like a logger cutting down the beaver's natural habitat, deforestation. We got to protect the beaver, Chad.
Doesn't the beaver kind of do their own deforesting out there?
Yeah, so why isn't it like the sound of like a tree snapping and falling or something?
Oh, stop.
Come on. Honestly, I just don't like that. They play it way too loud and it's so annoying. So annoying.
Well, Rudy Gobert knows what that sound means now. It means someone's getting ready to come down and dunk in your face.
Okay, and see, you sold me. I like it now.
There we go. Let's go out to Jerry. Jerry, welcome to the 5th quarter. You're up. Fire away.
You got me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, Jerry. What's cracking?
Oh, I'm just coming down 70 here. Listen, I drive over from Trenton. Usually, once every other week, I drive from Trenton and I come into somewhere out on the West Coast. It just kind of depends on what I'm hauling. And I'm going to L.A. I won't be there today, but I'm going to L.A. I got some PCBs on board, which is printed circuit board. I don't know if you know what that is or not, but they use them in computers and electronics and things like that. And I'm not allowed to tell you where I'm delivering them, but I can tell you what I have. And if I can't tell you what I have, then they make that real clear. And I don't even know what I have unless it's hazardous. They got to tell me if it's hazardous.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, I'm going to tell you something right now. Missouri's kind of a godforsaken place. If you ever can avoid driving through Missouri, avoid driving through Missouri. Now, Colorado, coming up here, that's pretty nice. But Missouri is just not a place where you want to be driving through.
No,
if you want to take the family on a scenic drive or a romantic drive, it's not where you want to go unless you're got some serial killer tendencies. Then it's maybe a place you want to go.
Yeah, I remember going on a family vacation one summer with my mom, dad, and my brother to Branson, Missouri. And I remember driving through parts of Missouri, and it was, well, let's just say it wasn't the friendliest countryside I've seen before.
No, now Branson's nice if you're over 65 or 70 or 80. It's very nice there. You got a lot of has-been dried-up old prunes that put on the shows in the theaters, and they do a nice job for the old people.
Yeah, my Nana took me out to Branson one time to see the Oklahoma show and the musical, and she thought it was the greatest thing ever. But I did notice, even as a young Chad, that there were a lot of old people sitting by me.
Yeah, you're that age. You don't know how old they are.
Yeah, you have no idea. You just know they're not the same age as you are.
Yeah, you just know exactly. That's pretty good. So listen, I've been listening to you for years now, but I've never ever called in before.
Well, I appreciate you calling in.
It's hard to call when you're driving, but when you're driving through Missouri, it's what am I going to do? Am I going to hit a jackrabbit? Oh boy, what a crime that will be. But I just wanted to say hello, and I've kind of gotten a liking towards the Portland team there because the other ones on the West Coast are all despicable in one form or another.
Yeah.
You think you look at the Lakers. We got that LeBron guy on there, and he's got as much sense. Never mind. And then the wannabe Lakers. Enough said about that. And then you go up the road a bit, and you got the Warriors, and those guys are, that coach is just the most crazy liberal whack job guy I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm not interested in them. And then the only team left is Portland. They seem like they're pretty reasonable. So I kind of started to like them a little bit.
Well, that's good. I like that. Well, what's it like being out on the open road all the time? You enjoy that, Jerry?
Yeah, it's not too bad. You get used to it. And the first time you see a lot lizard, you're usually kind of shocked. But after that, you just go, oh, it's another lot lizard. You know where to go, where they're not, and you do okay there like that, and it's pretty good. You could find some good meals out here if you know what you're looking for.
Now wait a second. What is I hate to ask this question, but what is a lot lizard? Because I think I might know, but I'm not sure.
You kind of sheltered, aren't you?
Is a lot lizard? Is that one of those? I know that there are certain ladies of the night that work at or hang around truck stops. Is that kind of what a lot lizard is?
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Bingo. It's called a lot lizard.
Oh.
And it's not one that you have in the terrarium at home. You don't take the lot lizard to show and tell either.
Steer clear of the lot lizard.
You just don't take the lot lizard to show and tell. I had you guys up on the screen in here a little bit ago, and that one kid that works there with you.
Yeah.
He looks like he might have had a little tussle with a lot lizard somewhere there in his life.
No, he's good. He's good. No lot lizards here. I don't want a lot lizard. Neither does Burkhardt.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I got some turns coming up, so I better get off of here. And I would just want to say hello, and I called in for my very first time, and this won't be the last time you'll hear from me, if that's okay. Is it okay if I call back?
Anytime. That's Big 10-4, Jerry.
All right, 10-4, good buddy. See you later.
There you go. Now, Burkhardt, have you ever known a truck driver, like someone that drives truck for a living?
No, but my grandpa made him. Worked for Freightliner.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. That's a different life out there. Like, if you're a truck driver and that's what you do and you're on the road all the time, it's a different type of life. Stopping off at different places. You got your truck stops. You're sleeping in your cab. That is an interesting life. My son still wants to take a shower at one of the truck stops. He thinks that's cool.
I love it.
He thinks it's cool that they offer showers to the truck drivers, and he wants to take a shower at one. I'm like, no, you could probably just better off doing that at home.
Yeah. I do want to point out, as we talk about our truck driver friends out there, the YouTube chat, they're full of detectives.
Yes.
And they are good. They want to know if Jerry, the truck driver, is the same person or related to our friend who calls from the bar occasionally, or was it our ag report guy from Oklahoma who all sound the same? So they're doing their detective work there on the YouTube.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I do want that guy to call back in with an ag report. I need more ag reports
in my life. The ag report was wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm going to go to Urban Dictionary right now. I'm curious to see what they have to say about lot lizards.
I think things I wouldn't type just in case.
Okay, I'm just curious. Urban Dictionary, lot lizard.
This is Rip City Radio after dark.
Oh, yeah, he's right. I can't read some of this stuff here. It just says a trucker's term for a prostitute that works at truck stops. Exactly what Jerry said.
I feel like this should be turned into like a Tarantino movie, like From Dusk Till Dawn, right? But you're at the truck stop, they all turn into like actual lizard people, and oh man.
All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter. We'll give you a scoreboard report, and we still have our shot of the night. 503-248-0620. The Blazers get the win tonight, 124-118. And they're going to get a rematch with the Timberwolves coming up on Monday. That game also a 7 o'clock tip from Moda Center. Trucks. I can't read that either. There's a lot of things I can't read on the radio. All right, scoreboard report coming up next. And we'll have our shot of the night. You got the fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio.
The fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio presents the Scoreboard Report, brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill, A-Linnae's ultimate venue for sports fans every Monday night, featuring beer and wing specials and more.
All right, checking out the action in the association tonight. The Spurs top the Heat 115-111. That's San Antonio's 8th win on the year. The Heat fall to 12-15. Jimmy Butler with 30 points in the loss. Elsewhere, the Nets top the Pacers 136-133 in Indiana. Brooklyn now 16-12. Indiana falls to 14-13. Halliburton with 35 points, 9 assists, and 3 steals in the loss. The Clippers take out the Wizards in D.C. 114-107. Paul George, 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. L.A. now 15-13 on the year. The Wizards fall to 11-16. In Cleveland, the Cavs 110, the Thunder 102. Oklahoma City now 11-15. Cleveland 17-10. Evan Mobley 21 points and 12 boards. In Chicago, the Bulls ripped the Mavericks 144-115. They scored 82 points in the first half. DeRozan 28 points and 9 boards. Dallas now 500 at 13-13. Chicago improves to 11-14. The Warriors top the Celtics in San Francisco 123-107. Golden State now 14-13. The Celtics fall to 21-6. Steph Curry 32 points, 6 boards, 7 assists. The Nuggets top the Jazz 115-110 in Denver. The Nuggets now 16-10. They've got back-to-back wins. Jazz 15-14. Jokic triple-double, 31 points, 12 boards, and 14 assists. And of course, the Trailblazers take out the Timberwolves 124-118. Dame with 36 points and 8 assists, a game high 36 points. And that is your scoreboard report brought to you by A-Linnae. 503-248-0620 is your telephone number. Let's get to our shot of the night.
It's time for the Nothing But Net Shot of the Night here on the fifth quarter, 620 Rip City Radio. The Nothing But Net Shot of the Night is brought to you by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Simons drives, runs in the air to beat the shot clock. Shot no good. Offensive rebound, Simons. Now Dame from way downtown. Yes! 32 for Lillard, 118-113. Net from Dame distance.
All right, shot of the night. Blazers get the win. Now 14-12 and move on for this rematch against Minnesota on Monday. Got any final thoughts on the evening, on the game? Anything that's going through your mind, Burkhardt, as you're chuckling over there in the studio?
I'm chuckling because I'm giving my final thoughts. Our shout out to the YouTube chat. It's popping off tonight. Oddly enough, the chat always does better after a win than a loss. Who would have thunk? So do the phones. But we have a listener here chiming in. Darren said that, this is such a cool platform where we can all just hang out and chill here on a Saturday after a Blazer W. And Scott said, I would actually call it educational. I mean, where else can you learn about the definition of lot lizard?
Hey, we're here to help.
Hey, talking ball wasn't going to bring you that.
Fifth quarter after dark. It's a dangerous time out here. That's a term I had not heard before, lot lizard. I had not heard that one before.
No, can't say that I have either.
Those are all the things my mom tried to protect me from when I was younger. See, growing up, I'm not joking about this. When I grew up in Oklahoma, small town, I was in elementary school, and the elementary students and the junior high students and the high school students all rode the same bus. One bus. There was enough room for everyone on the bus to be able to make their way to, the different neighborhoods. And, of course, I lived out in the country. So the problem is that when you combine elementary students with high school students, sometimes the high school students are teaching things to the elementary students that they probably shouldn't be learning about at such a young age. And so I would go home and, repeat things to my mom that I heard on the bus. And she's like, where did you hear that from? I'm like, I heard it on the bus. She did not like that at all.
Well, at least never asked her what a lot lizard was.
All right. Any final thoughts on the Blazers tonight? I had fun hanging out with you at the game, man.
The game was wonderful. We should do that more often.
I agree.
Final thoughts on the Blazers. just put it together. I think hopefully on Monday you get a little bit of a different result. Like, I think Minnesota is a team that shouldn't have hung around with Portland as long as they did. And you know as good as anyone in the NBA, when you let a team that shouldn't hang around, that's when you drop games that you shouldn't drop because they'll find a way to win. So hopefully you can come out on Monday and just build off this and drop the hammer.
All right, 2 shout-outs. One, Army for getting the double overtime victory over Navy today, 20-17. And Caleb Williams, no surprise, USC quarterback, is your Heisman Trophy winner. All right, that's going to do it for us. Nice work tonight, Burkhart.
You as well, sir.
All right, YouTube crowd, thank Burkhart for all his hard work. Our next broadcast will come up on Monday. The Trailblazers will take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Rip City Drive's at 3, with game day starting at 4:30. The tip-off against the Timberwolves will be at 7 o'clock. So you want to make sure you tune in and check out the Trailblazer game right here on your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio. Your final score tonight from Moda Center. The Trailblazers take out the Timberwolves 124-118. For Chris Burkhart, I'm Chad Doing. Enjoy your Sunday, my friends. We'll talk to you on Monday.